It's going down. We in the studio. We in the building with the real Rick Ross. Not the rapping Rick Ross, but the real Rick Ross, the boss. I don't even know how to make this introduction other than telling you exactly what it is. We in the building with the boss, the
Keep
real
it
Rick
real.
Ross.
Keep it real.
What's up, boss?
Man, loving it. Tired though. This road been. This road hard work.
So you out moving around, spreading the info. You got the books. You got all kinds of different stuff going on. You stop through the city, man. Give us a brief of what you're on the road doing.
Man, I've been, I was in Ohio about 4 months ago. Hit all Ohio, Dayton, Columbus, Cleveland, Youngstown, Akron, Sandusky. I mean, we was Dayton. I mean, we was all over, man. And then we hit Detroit. Just left Detroit again last night. We on this book tour, man. I'm trying to sell 100,000. Man, these dudes in Hollywood told me that if I didn't do my book, my documentary, and my movie through them, that my stuff wouldn't come out.
Hold on, man. They told you.
I ain't going to tell you their nationality because they going to say I ain't going into that. But I'm just going to tell you they told me my stuff wasn't going to come out if I didn't sign with them.
I mean, well, clearly, if they know anything about your story, you've been known for moving things through the streets for many years. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't know the streets love me.
I mean, what? You got guys that make they whole image is made off of taking your name and what you represent.
They didn't know that. They didn't know that they hand me them 20s.
Nah, they knew.
And
they
don't
was
even
just playing.
care about the book. They like, big homie, I wouldn't even read the book and I'll give you a dub. But I'm going to read this book.
Real talk.
Because you say read it, I'm going to read it. So, it's like, it's really crazy, man. I mean, I'm really like blown away at the type of love and respect I've been getting from the streets. And, they can't cut my water off, man. I know what Louis Farrakhan was talking about when he said they don't pay his bills. They ain't paying my bills right now. So, they can't tell me what to do. And they told me that I couldn't put my book out. So I'm out now to prove them super duper wrong. I'm gonna sell 100,000 books out the trunk.
You've been proving them wrong. They said you wasn't gonna get out of jail.
Yeah, they said that too. They said they was writing my obituary, and I told him that I was gonna be doing all kind of stuff, and I'm doing it. So I believe in a challenge. I kind of like challenges.
Come on, man. So they challenged you and said that you can't move this book unless you go through their distribution channels and networks or whatever.
Yeah, man.
I see clearly that, can I hold one?
Yeah.
Well, the book is done, and the book is here in Indianapolis.
And it look good too.
And it look good.
It don't look like no hood put together book.
Nah, they know it's real. They know it's real because it came from the real.
I went to the same companies they go to. You know what I'm saying? The same people print their book, printed mine.
You go right to the source.
They was printing Penguin and Simon & Schuster, and I said, oh, yeah, I'm at the right place.
So you went straight to the manufacturer.
Man, come on. Stop it, y'all.
Come on, man. So, well, I don't know if it's a beneficial, but there have been some movies that they have attempted to tell your story or whatever over time.
I had nothing to do with none of them. None of them. The one that's out right now, Snowflake or Fall or whatever they calling it, I ain't got nothing to do with that either. And hopefully, John, man, come on, man, stop playing games. So you done set this meeting up 4 or 5 times for us to sit down and, quit playing games. Let's meet, man, so we can get our stuff squared away. Whatever we're going to do.
Got to take care of the business.
He should have got at me before he put the movie out, the Snowfall or Flake or whatever they call it. I ain't never watched it.
Yeah.
Fake or whatever it is, but I getting a lot of calls, from people telling me it's my story, And
that's what I'm ready to say. So this is supposed to be the story of crack cocaine and how it, took over the West Coast, how it all began or whatever. So I was wondering how they tell that story and they not telling the Rick Ross story or whatever, because we already been told.
That's funny how they don't want us to know the real. And it's funny why don't they want us to know the real? Why don't they want us to know our history? For them to know our history is something. You know who that is right there on that picture?
That's you and John Singleton
Yeah. You see what he doing?
holding up the book.
Yeah, holding up the book.
He might have he probably read the
Come
book
on,
and they
man.
took.
Come on, man. You already know.
Hey,
That picture say a whole lot, man.
so
And don't even go to his site and read what he say about me. And this is 3 years ago.
so basically, not to say that they jacked your story, but it seems that you know what I'm saying they've basically telling this story, but you know they don't want to cash that check right now.
Well, you know, in Hollywood they say Ricky Ross is difficult to deal with. You know, and I understand why. You know, I used to think a lot of brothers in Hollywood had money. And then I found out they was working for peanuts and tennis shoes and cars, and I was like, oh, I don't work for those.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and for real, I don't really care about your money either. You know,
You've
your
had
money
it.
don't impress me.
You've had it.
You
know
know,
what I'm
'cause I done
saying?
had money, and I get money right now. You know, they give it to me $20 at a time, just like they used to.
Come on, they just buying a book now. They just getting a book and paying to come see you speak at different places and
Man,
things.
the other day I was at MGM, right, and I'm selling books right in the middle of the thing. You know, you ain't supposed to sell books at MGM without officially being okay by the casino.
Mm-hmm.
They don't allow you to pass out business cards, flyers, or nothing. So I'm in the center of the casino doing the Rick Ross right in the middle, right? The managers walk up and they say, man, we ain't supposed to be letting nobody do this, but go ahead, just don't crowd the hallways.
Come on, man. They got to give you that pass or whatever, because, I mean.
Brother, give me $200.
Come on, man.
For a book, and another brother gave me $100. Say, man, I wish I could give you $5,000. I already read your book. He said, what your book did for me is worth $5,000.
Come on, man. It's a lot of game in these pages right here.
Man, I wrote this book when I was in the joint, and I was sitting back, right, and I was like, man, what can you do for your people? They say you ain't never getting out of prison again. And you might not get out of prison. This was before I found my issue.
Mm-hmm.
That I knew I was getting out. Because at one time, I didn't know if I was getting out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when the feds give you life, you usually do it.
Nah, they pretty thorough when
99.1%. When they get that
on.
life sentence, they do a life sentence. So I know that I'm an odd man. You know what I'm saying? I know numbers real well.
Definitely.
I might tell you it's a 99.1%. I mean, a 0.5% that you gonna win that bet, and you better not take it.
Come on, man.
But I didn't have no choice. I was already in the game.
So you're in there. So
I'm in there. So what I got to lose? You know, roll the dice, man.
Come on, man.
But anyway, before I knew I was gonna win my case, you know, I was like, so you in prison, you ain't no good to your people no more. That's why don't nobody come and see you. That's why you don't get no letters, because you lost your value. So what I did is I started sitting there and I was trying to figure out how could I create value in myself again.
Mm-hmm.
How could I be valuable to my people? How could I help my people do something from in prison, from behind bars? And then I got a newspaper one day and I was reading about Tookie Williams, almost winning the Nobel Peace Prize. He wrote a book about gangbanging, and it came to me, why not write a book about the dope game?
Share
Why
that
not tell the
knowledge.
young people exactly what they gonna get into before they get into it? They got a map. They can go pick it up and read it and know everything that's gonna happen from start to finish. So that's what I did. And while I was doing that, I had to analyze myself, you know, because when I was doing what I was doing, I didn't really think much of it. You know, you said a guy take $125, he turned into $3 million a day. So what? What's the big deal? That ain't nothing. That's how I thought about it.
It was just money. You just going through the motions at that moment.
So when I sit down with these youngsters who was trying to do the same thing, and they telling me, man, I barely make $1,000. I ain't never had 10,000. When it came to me, the only reason this kid didn't, because he had everything that it took, smart kid, but nobody had never told him how to sell dope.
He didn't have a blueprint.
So how could he? So then I was saying, wow, maybe it was a technique to what you did. Maybe it was a strategy. Maybe you really put some stuff together. So I started going back over it, and I started figuring out what I did. And then I started saying, well, Rick, can this stuff be transferred? Is it transferable? You know, can you use it in law work? Can you use it in the music industry? Does it work in the movie industry? You know what I'm saying? Can you use it selling cars?
These same business
These
practices.
same business practices. Or are they just for drugs? Maybe they just for drugs. The only thing they work at is selling drugs. But I wanted to know the questions. I wanted to know the answers. So I started doing my research.
And what did you find out?
I found out that they're universal. They don't care what you use them for. Good or evil, it has no difference, and it don't care what it is you're doing. If you practice these principles, you're going to win.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. That's why these dudes who I was telling you about, I was only out of prison 1 week, and I'm sitting in the 4 most powerful guys in Hollywood office. And they don't know why I'm there. They thought I came there to sell my rights.
They was all ready to cut the check. Like, okay.
But they was going to give me peanuts.
Uh-huh.
You know, they thought I was an elephant.
Yeah, so that ain't what you're
They
here
offered
for.
me
You a
peanuts.
man.
They offered me peanuts and patties. I said, no.
I'm a boss, and you gonna address and treat me as such.
I told them I want to write checks.
Come on.
You know, so we didn't cut no deal, and it became known in Hollywood that Rick Ross is difficult. And that's one of the reasons that they'll go and they'll buy snowflakes from somebody else, and they won't do the Rick Ross story, which they know the people want to hear about the Rick Ross story because they the ones behind the rapper. You know, they put the money behind him.
I think over time, the powers that be, you know what I'm saying, they gonna definitely have to, you know, come to the table, you know what I'm saying.
We're going to make them come to the table.
Yeah.
We're going to put that stick on them.
You
say you either give them the carrot or the stick. We're going to put
the stick on
keep putting that stick on them.
Hey, and you putting it on them with this book because you all over the country. I see you on Instagram and on social media everywhere with the book.
Man.
And everybody I see, they definitely the streets definitely love you.
Oh man, the streets loving it, man. The party in Detroit last night was off the change. You know, my hits from LA, all my folks from LA's like, we're gonna outdo that. We're gonna outdo that. When you come back to LA, we're gonna throw you a bigger party than they threw. And which they should already did it. But you know, I understand y'all work for the man, and the man say, don't mess with that dude.
Yeah.
So, you know, you back off. You know, even though they love me, but you know, the man paying their rent.
They still gotta protect
that's his
check.
car.
Yeah.
You know, that's his car they driving. So, you know, they got to protect that. So they have to back up off me. But these dudes in the street, you know, he don't pay their bills.
Nah. They don't give a damn. The streets don't give a damn about them because they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about the streets or whatever. No. So you know what I'm saying, that definitely works, you know, to your favor. And like you said, you wanted to figure out a way that you could be valuable to your people. You know what I'm saying, and offer them something, you know, from your situation. This book is definitely, you know what I'm saying, something that people can use. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Because you ain't just teaching nobody how to be, you know, the biggest drug dealer in the world. This is about
we all
being
did
a hustler.
That already. We took over the dope game. We ran the dope game in the 80s. That was our game. You know, we ran it.
So now we just taking that hustle and applying it to
something else.
Something else.
Yeah. They had to start locking us up by the thousands. You know, they changed laws because of the way the young brothers had got into the dope business and literally took it over, where the Colombians was almost making crumbs. You know, we had cut them down to where they was getting crumbs for off the money. That, you know, when I stopped selling coke, I was paying like $9.5 a kilo.
Lord.
So, you know, they was almost just bringing it over here just for fuel. You know, put gas in the planes and the ships and drive it over here and take a little cut and then pass it off. So we really took that over. And that's why they started changing. They started changing all the laws. You know, they came in with the 100 to 1 and everything. That was to lock us up.
When I was a kid, I grew up in the 80s, you know, and it's something that I don't know right, wrong, or whatever, but I used to always wonder, I say, well, if they want to stop the drugs and everything, why is the first thing that they do is they take all the money, you know what I'm saying, that they find and they keep and do whatever they do with. It seemed like to me it ain't the drugs that they want, it's the money and the things.
No doubt.
It seemed like that's what they want to stop, you know what I'm saying. They don't want, you know, the people that got it to maybe, because even I don't know how true it is, but they say that, you know, like the Kennedys, they daddy, he was a bootlegger and they took and changed their money. they took and changed their money over, and they start doing bigger and better things, than what they had been doing, and they became a family of power. It seemed like that when we as a people was getting money, that they stopped that because they didn't want us to become families of power. You ain't gonna keep doing the same thing forever. You're gonna eventually transition into some other things.
No doubt.
And they was attempting to maybe stop that transition.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know if that was exactly fact, but it just seemed that way to me as a kid.
Well, it's
you know
a
what I'm
fact
saying?
that the Kennedys were bootleggers. I mean, that's an absolutely fact, and it's a fact that they grandkids or kids ran for presidency and won, and senators and so forth. So all that's fact. You ain't quoting number facts there, and it's also a fact that when the brothers got into the cocaine business, they changed the laws. They deliberately went in and changed laws. And I don't know if you saw my documentary, but if you go, well, when we get out of this litigation that we're in litigation right now. But in my documentary, I interviewed a guy who wrote the crack law, and he talks about how there's never been a law passed the way they passed the crack law. It was no investigation, no time to think about it. They went to the board on the floor of Congress or the Senate or wherever it was, and they just start raising the law up. Well, I say they should get 10 to 1. I say they should get 20, and I say they should give them 100 to 1.
Yeah, I seen it. It was talking about Bill Clinton and they part and all of that stuff in that or whatever. I did see some footage on that or whatever, man, and that's crazy. They was just giving away time like.
Well, it was because of it was black. It was black men. So they were really doing two things. One, they was getting rid of the undesirables after they had already collected their money, from selling the drugs, because they was allowing the Contras to bring the drugs over here. So once they got their money, then they lock up the undesirables, the people who they didn't want in the country anyway. They no longer had a use for you.
No use for them.
You couldn't work for free no more unless the 13th Amendment say unless you can duly convicted.
Yeah.
Then you can go in there and you can work in the slave camps.
Slavery's never been abolished.
Yeah. So it was a double-edged sword. They had it both ways, and it's just crazy, how this system has been working, and even me, I just finished reading a book called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, and the book really, really opened my eyes up, and I found out I had been suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome.
So we all have.
More than likely.
Yeah.
I can't say everybody have. Each person had to analyze their own situation and figure out, are they really suffering from it? Do they know about it? Most people don't even know about it because I didn't know about it. I mean, here I am. I've read over 300 books while I was in prison and newspapers and all this other stuff. And then just, 4 or 5 months ago, I read this book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, and found out that I was suffering from exactly what she described in her book as post-traumatic slave syndrome, thinking that I was nothing, that I was a dummy, that I couldn't succeed in society no other way but selling drugs. And it was totally the opposite. I could have did anything with my life had I known or had somebody been around
informed
to guide me.
I think that's a lot of times that's our whole hold up is that we don't have all the information. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna know everything, but a lot of stuff that we as a people see other people engaging in as far as like business opportunities and things. We don't get into those things because nobody tells us or whatever. I see a guy with a business. I'm like, now who told that dude he need to start making this particular thing? And why would you go buy an injection mold machine or whatever? But somebody told him. Right. Somebody put him up on game. Hey, you get an injection mold machine, I can get you a contract selling these cups. You know what I'm saying? Or these widgets or gadgets or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But don't nobody share that information with us or whatever. And hopefully by you going around pushing this book around.
But that's part of post-traumatic slave syndrome because they didn't want the slaves to know nothing. They wanted to keep the slaves ignorant and dumb. Because if they're ignorant and dumb, they can never challenge them for the power.
See,
You just described post-traumatic slave syndrome.
See, we gotta break that chain. We gotta break that chain. So look, boss man, you in town for a couple days. I was just slipped a note to announce where some of the places that you're gonna be making appearances at here in the city. Say tomorrow morning from 10 a.m. to 11:30, you'll be at the Indiana Black Expo, 3145 North Meridian, Indianapolis, Indiana. Phone number, if you want to contact them, is 317-925-2702. And then at 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, you'll be over at Garfield Park at the Pagoda. Garfield Park Pagoda, 2145 Pagoda Drive, Indianapolis, Indiana. It's on the south side. Shouts out to my partner D-Mac. And if you need that number, it's 317-327-7220. And then tomorrow evening, tomorrow evening, Bethel Community Center from 6 to 8, 2850 Bethel Avenue, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46203. Also on the south side. Shouts out to all my people on the south side. The phone number for that event is 317-327-7480. Mr. Ross, before you get up out of here, before you leave, because I know you're a busy man, how can the people get in contact with you in case they not able to catch up with you to physically get this book?
And Sunday I'm gonna be at the where's that place at Sunday where we gonna be at?
Here we go. 11:30 a.m. to 2:30, Hovey Church of Christ, 2338 Hobby Street, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46218, East Side. Then you can be back in my hood. 3 to 5, Lynn Park, 700 Tribe Avenue, Hallville, USA, baby. It goes down. The real Rick Ross is in the building. This is Stop Beefing Radio. Hey, man, we got this thing, man, we do on Wednesdays, man. It's Well-Connected Wednesdays. We always try to bring different people together from different walks of life to do some, our motto is bring good people together to do some great things or whatever. So you in town this weekend, we're going to try to do what we can do to try to connect some people with you to get this information out there.
Okay. I appreciate it.
I was going to ask you too, man, how can the people get in contact with you, man, that want to get this book?
They can hit me up on social media at Freeway Rick on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Twitter and Instagram at Freeway Ricky. They can also get me on Facebook at Freeway Ricky Ross. And China, she here in town.
China doll, the real.
The real is the real.
Hold on. So look, the real is real. And we told y'all about this once before, but look, you ain't got no insurance. You need roadside assistance. You know you want to stay on the internet all the time. What if I told you can get all of that? $50 a month. $50 a month.
Unbelievable.
And they got phones. Whatever. So make sure you hit therealisreal.com/phones. Therealisreal.com/phones if you want to get hip up to this incredible deal. That's burial insurance, roadside assistance, unlimited talking text, 4 gigs of data, you know what I'm saying, identity theft, and no hidden charges, flat 50. Hey, keep your same number and device.
Wow.
That's a lot. $50 a month.
I'm switching up. I'm switching up. Done deal.
If you ain't got one, you better get one. Hey, cause real talk, homies get shot every day in the hood, and they always have to have a GoFundMe page.
Pay your car washes.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Some hustlers, some true
Rick
hustlers.
Ross got to come through and take care of it.
Come on, man. So look, handle it yourself. It's right here, $50 a month. Do your family a favor. Go ahead and get that. TheRealIsReal.com is where you go for more information. TheRealIsReal.com/phones. It goes down, baby. You know what it is. This is Well-Connected TV. I am Mike Trees, and you're sitting in the building with the boss, the real Rick Ross. It's in the building, man. It's going down. Stop Beefing Radio, Viewyoulive.com. You know what it is. Let's get it. 1037 The Beat.